Hey everybody, I know I've been gone for 10 years and I apologize about that, and I plan to be more consistent to where I'm at least going to try to get a video out once a week, and if not, I'm going to at least let you guys know. I had a few life issues that I had to deal with, but I should be better now. So I figured the best way to come back is to go ahead and start out with the event guide, because if you're like me, you're probably procrastinating and you might not know when some of these events are ending. Luckily, there's not that many events, so it should be pretty easy for you to catch up. So we're going to go ahead and start out with the Lament, Recon, Solaris Soldier event. I actually enjoyed this event and I was able to complete the final stage and get all the rewards. For this one, all you got to do is just pick a resonator. They're going to most likely try to give you default resonators as you go up in the stages. So once you go ahead and select a resonator, you really just need to just walk around and kill the enemies. This is a very simple game mode. All you have to do is just go around and try to kill as many enemies as you can and pick up the coins so that way you can buy power-ups. You also can activate your skill, which can help kill a lot of enemies in case you find yourself in trouble. As you start unlocking and leveling up your main skills, you won't even really need to activate that skill anymore. Once you complete the challenge, you're able to get upgrades for your character. Now you have multiple upgrades. First upgrade is for your Pacific character, so for Galbrina. So if I pick this one, for example, I'm going to be leveling up the resonator. If you click on it, you can find out what they get once they reach a certain level. So if we click on Ashen Oath, which is her main ability, you can find out at level 5, she's going to get an attack speed bonus and a crit rate bonus. And at level 10, she's going to get another attack speed bonus and another crit rate bonus. So you really don't need to try to get her a higher level than 10. And you can already see what they're going to give you by simply clicking on it. So if we just go ahead and purchase this one, she's now level 2. Next thing you have is your starting skill. And for her, it's Isomer Bolts. But the main thing that you want to be trying to look at is the ultimate form. Now, the main ways to try to get all the rewards in this mode is to get all of the ultimate forms unlocked. So you want to try to take note of what ultimate forms you're unlocking. So since we're going for Isomer Bolts, eventually we want to either pick up Glittering Ray or Explosive Omen. And to get the ultimate form, all you have to do is just complete the requirements that it says here. So essentially get Isomer Bolts to level 15 and get Glittering Rays or Explosive Omen to level 15, whichever one that you chose. Once you start progressing to the later stages, you should be able to get 2 ultimate forms completely leveled, so be sure that you're keeping track of which ones you are leveling. I was not crazy about the rapid fire ones, so I would go ahead and try to knock those out first. Then besides that, you're going to have items. You're going to be unlocking these as you progress through the mode. Really good. Feel free to pick it up. We'll just go ahead and get this one right here, Rapid Bullets. Get more attack speed, and we want to go ahead and try to advance our main skill. But one other thing is you generally want to try to go after the blue and purples, and as you do progress through this mode, you are going to be able to refresh, so be sure to look over here as you're playing through this mode, because let's go ahead and refresh and see if we get something better. Right there, I got a blue skill for my Isomer Bolts. And the last thing that you just basically need to know about this mode is you might not have enough coins to go ahead and buy something that you really want to get. For example, I probably want to go ahead and try to level up my Galbrina a little bit more and try to get her another resonator level. You can lock it, and then once we go to the next round, it's going to be there. And that's pretty much how this mode works. You're just upgrading your skills, killing all the enemies, picking up the coins, and eventually unlocking those ultimate forms. And now that we're in the next round, that the lock skill that I had is right there. But let's quickly take a look at the rewards so that way you at least know what you need to do to get all the Asterite in this mode. So essentially, you just need to complete every stage. Pretty simple to do, just following the tips that I mentioned. Then you also have a few achievement tasks, which are also not very difficult to do if you're just going for the Asterite. With the hardest one being unlocking for ultimate form, so you just want to do what I showed you. And if you want to be a completionist, unlock all 6 ultimate forms. If you go for all 6 ultimate forms, you're going to easily knock out this whole event. Next, we have a familiar event, Core Cleansing. Now for this one is basically we have 3 double drop chances a day, and this is for Tacit Fields. So whichever character that you need to get better echoes on, make sure that you're doing the Tacit Fields this week. And even if you don't need echoes for specific characters, you still want to make sure that you do it because it's very hard to get these tuners sometimes. We also have the Hamster event again. Very simple. Just make sure that you at least start it so that way you can get these coins a row once you just knock out your daily wayplates. And that's going to be the main way how you're going to get rolls. There are 3 boards, so you do want to try to start on this sooner rather than later if you have not started, because you might not have enough rows to clear all the boards. And this does give you a lot of resources. And then we have our other main event, which is basically just a picture event. This one was okay. It's not really hard to do. It's pretty simple. Kind of make sure that you follow the directions. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the rewards. So the main way how we're going to be able to get all the asterite is by clearing all of the normal modes. And if you want to go for the completionist status, you can clear the hard modes. But the hard mode doesn't really give you that many rewards. They basically just give you skill mats. And if you're somewhat like me, you have tons of these. So one thing that I want to go ahead and point out is this first normal mode. Now, if you look right here, here are the objectives that you have to do. Perform a heavy attack, perform a plunging attack, very easy to do. But the last one, they want you to get a photo of him riding with the filter in a yard. Now, if you're not really paying attention, you might not really know how to access the filter. So let's go ahead and show that out. We'll go ahead and start the event. Since I already completed it, it's not going to make me do it again, but it's just going to let me do free picture mode. So when you do a picture, basically activate your tool. Once you do that, you're going to be in this picture mode and you're able to select certain films. And this is the mode that they want you to do to clear this event. And this is the only one that you have to select this one. So once we select that one, we can just go select F, take our picture, and there we go. We got the mode. And for him riding, it's just basically do a couple like normal attacks and then, you know, take your picture. So like once you do that, you select Neor mode, you should be good. But the rest of these are pretty simple to do, especially if you're familiar with the character. Heart mode is a little bit harder, but not really. Ani resting in a chair, you know, like her combo chain, she's going to be resting in a chair. Perform heavy slashes, you know, very simple. But basically all you're doing is just performing their basic attacks and their special skills. Normal mode is basically basic attacks. Hard mode is basically special skills. Next, you just have your login event. So hopefully you've been logging in during this patch because we only have 4 days left of the event. And then we also have our second login event to where you're able to get some asterite and some tuners. Be sure that you're logging in. And lastly, don't forget to do your character trial so that way you can get that extra asterite. And of course, don't forget about your weekly 1,000 gateways to where they're going to end every Sunday. Even if you don't have the way place, just make sure that you clear it because that is free asterite every week. Hazzard Zone just recently reset, so you have plenty of time to do that. But because it is so long, you might want to just go ahead and knock it out early so you don't end up forgetting it. Whimpering Waste, you have a little over 11 days to go ahead and knock this out. If you have not, I do recommend that you go ahead and start on it. This one is a bit more difficult. If you don't happen to have Cardathea and Galbrina, you're going to have a harder time getting all the points in the final level. So, depending on your account, you might have to get creative with your teams to reach enough points to get that S-Class. And then lastly, don't forget about your weekly bosses. If you are going for Chisa, you want to go after the Fertilise boss and make sure that you have enough Iris Blooms to fully level up her skills. One other thing, in case you guys don't know, you can always click on these 3 dots right here and it's going to tell you when things are ending. So if you are one of those procrastinators, similar to me, and when you are logging into the game, be sure to hit those 3 dots just to see if some of those big modes like Tower of Adversity or Whimpering Waste are ending soon and you make sure you knock it out. And if you do plan to row for Chisa, you might want to just go ahead and get that knocked out. And then lastly, I'm sure you guys already know, if you want to row for Kuyan, or try to pick up Zani now that she's having her rerun, you guys have a little over 5 days to go ahead and row for them. Otherwise, most likely you're saving your pools for Chisa. And with that, you should know everything that you need to know to knock out all the events to be ready for next patch. And I do plan to do a quick guide for Chisa, so be sure to look forward to that. So if you guys enjoyed this, I would greatly appreciate a like so that way we can spread more on YouTube. But other than that, I'll talk with you guys later.